Just to remind everybody that language usage and content that we provide here may be disturbing, disgusting, probably will be and should be. Words like bloody custard and words that rhyme with that may be featured. Actually will be featured. In fact, perhaps will only be featured. Just warning you. Yes, this show is brought to you by Wow Tables and iWape.in.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Yes, our guest is Parvin Dabas, actor, singer, dancer, actually just actor, but also underwater photography expert. He's a cyclist and he's a man who's got lots of interesting dimensions to him. He will be absolutely naked, in a manner of speaking.
Cyrus Says we have other shows too. You should check them out.
Hello, I'm Vasudha Sharma and I am the headliner on Made in India with May.
Made in India is India's first indie music podcast hosted by May Thomas. You can find it on indusvox.com or subscribe to it on your favorite podcasting app.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Okay, on Cyrus Says, of course, Diwali, great time and all that. Auspicious, no doubt, I'm hoping for me. But one thing I can't bear anymore is the crackers. We have to stop it. I know people are writing about it all the time, but it's all lip service. Nobody actually does it. I've got dogs, I've got old people in the house, I've got cats, I've got people with heart conditions. Well, mostly people have to listen to me. So please, stop with the crackers, man. Stop with the crackers. There's such lovely things. Light a rocket, put it on a relative and just let it go. I have no problem with that. But no more crackers. No more crackers. Cyrus Says.
Cyrus Says ad breaks are beneficial to your mental health.
This show is brought to you by Wow Tables. I spoke to Kunal and Deepa, the founders, about Wow Tables. Now tell us, what does it entail completely? How can we save money, we're Indians? We're not interested in anything else but how we can save money and enjoy a good meal.
So we've got curated dining experiences at some of the nicest restaurants in several cities in India now.
Okay.
And they're, well, apart from the fact that we guide you into what to order and what to not, we also help you save at least 30 to 50% on that.
What are you saying? 30 to 50% on the meal?
That's right.
I'm in. Count me in. I eat a lot. You better be careful. Don't break my
And
bottle.
you get to have multiple courses.
Oh, so you can tell I eat a lot, huh? Deepa, that's very rude. It was not necessary. That was mean. Visit wowtables.com to book an experience and use the code Cyrus Says to get 500 rupees off on your first reservation. I repeat, 500 rupees off. That's 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus another 100. Yeah, that's right.
And that's what Cyrus says.
All right, as I put this Hall's Mint into my mouth, of course, they're not sponsors yet here on Cyrus Says, but they may be, you never know. I must tell you, the taste remains. I have with me a guest who I've known actually on and off sort of for the last 25 odd years, which ages both of us. Parvin Dabas,
It's actually
welcome.
been 15, I think. No,
No, rubbish.
Yeah.
We did a North Star ad. You've forgotten.
That was 15 years ago.
No, it wasn't 50. Oh, you wanted 50.
It was, shut up, it was 15 years ago.
Yeah. I should have read the fine print. 12 years. Man, you don't look a day over 30.
Yeah,
you look
I know,
fine.
thank you. Yeah.
Well, when we go through
I
your
wish I
life...
could say the same as you, but yeah.
You can't.
Yeah,
You can't.
I can't.
I've been expanding, sometimes the way I wanted to and sometimes
No, but you
not.
look muscular.
Yeah.
You know the good thing?
Why do we shower together, Praveen? I don't know why we do this.
Though it might appear as fat, but
Yeah.
it makes you look muscular.
You think?
Yes.
So I'm disguising myself is what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. I've started wearing coats. The next step is kurtas. I think that's how if you work in our industry, I think that's the step-by-step process for those who go in the other genetic direction.
And
Let's
then the
say.
hat and glasses.
Let's call it the Rishi Kapoor moment. And finally you have sweaters and that's it. With due respect, lovely guy, but that's how it ended. All right, Praveen, let's talk about you. Pravin Dabas, we did sort of ads at the same time and we won't go into the date. Never do that again. But let's go right back to the beginning. You were born in Canada.
I wasn't born in Canada. I was brought up there.
Right.
I was born in a village in outer Delhi.
Gurgaon, I've heard of it. Lovely.
No, not Gurgaon.
Noida then it is. Mayawati, Zindabad.
It's
come back.
it's towards. It's called Kanchhaula, and it's in
That's
outer
right.
Delhi. Yeah.
All right. So you were born somewhere in India.
And then I was about 2-3 when we moved there. So I was there about 11 years.
And hence
then
the
we moved
accent
back.
still stays. It's less than it was the last time I met you, but you can't take the Canadian out of you.
Well, I grew up learning English like this, so
Yeah.
it's gone a lot, but it's still a little remnants.
Do
I
you
would
speak
say.
French as well?
I used to.
What the hell
Oh,
happened?
the 3, 4, 5, 6, that's about it.
Damn
Merci
it.
beaucoup.
That's as many girls as you can count.
yeah.
And then it's
No,
back to
I can
Rachel.
count more, but
You're not
just
allowed.
not in French.
Yeah, fair enough.
And not allowed. Yeah.
In Punjabi, there's no end to it, huh? All right, let's go back to your life right from the beginning. Parvin, you were probably, in college in Canada, and then you suddenly came back here?
No, I was in school still when my parents moved back. That's why I didn't have a choice in it.
Okay.
So then I finished school in modern school Vasant Vihar in Delhi. And
Modern school, I've actually shot a program there. Kids had mobile phones.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in 1997 and they already had 98 or whatever. They had mobile phones.
Yeah.
Not very poor people.
We weren't that spoiled at that time.
Believe me, you were. If you were modern school. Huh.
So, and then went to Hansraj College. So it's in school and college where
Isn't that where Amitabh Bachchan went?
No, he went to Krodimal, which was just the next college.
Correct.
This actually is the college where Shah Rukh, Anurag Kashyap.
Okay. Already your alliances are clear. I gave you an opening for the Big Bachchan, my personal favorite, but you said no. Okay. Fair enough. There was probably a traditional rivalry between the two colleges anyway, if they're side by side.
No, there was rivalry between, at that time, Hindu and St. Stephen's. But now Hansraj, because Hansraj is, now become like one of the top three also. Right. So it's part of the...
Right. So was it like a theatre group there or whatever? How did you suddenly go into the arts?
Well, in school it was just, again, I was... doing a play, and they said, why don't you? And I said, okay. It was actually like an Indian ballet, Samrat Ashok.
Where are we now? Modern school? In
modern school.
So you were doing a Ashok takeoff or something?
Actually, the dance teacher was going class to class trying to find Ashok for Samrat Ashok.
Right.
And he just came and picked me. He said, you're going to be Samrat Ashok. So I didn't have much say in the matter.
With due respect.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the first, couple of months...
so it was pure destiny. He just looked around and said, you, for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, totally. And
were you interested? Were you inclined?
I
just want to get out of class.
I didn't think about it much.
And what was it? So you had to dance. This is a ballet form.
It was like a whole Samrat Ashok thing in ballet form. And initially, like I said, I had a tough time. They were thinking of replacing me also.
I don't want to use the word, what is the right word? Sissy is probably wrong, but ballet...
Not really ballet, but the Indian ballet, because it was like an Indian, kind of...
version of
dance
ballet.
No, not ballet, but Indian dance
Kuchipudi.
Form. Close.
Odissi. Give me something.
It was more like Indian movements.
All right, so there's no talking. There's only movements.
Yeah.
So what do? Battle of Kalinga, you move your right hand with a sword and you slaughter people.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And then there was like one, I'm supposed to hug my wife and lay down in bed with her. That was the toughest thing, actually.
Someone had a good time, I must say.
No, that was the toughest thing,
doesn't talk about that.
That was the toughest thing.
Yeah, was it a nice-looking wife?
She was very pretty.
Very good.
Anyway. She was like the...
so he took his time when casting the woman who plays your wife.
Yeah.
For Samrat Ashok, he was like, you!
He just picked me up.
For that, he went through a whole audition. Nandita, Shweta, come here. Let us say these lines together. So, but of course, in your mind at that point, being a young kid and all, this was not serious, right? You were just having fun.
Yeah, it wasn't. Then I did a couple of more plays in school. Then even when I joined college, the Dramatic Society.
So you were known as the drama boy by then?
You were doing... In school, they knew I do it, some drama.
What was the first play? Do you remember?
It was a play called The Queen and I.
The Queen and I? Is that a takeoff on Yul Brynner film, The King and I?
No. It was an original. I forgot who wrote it. Yeah. But that I just had a small kind of, role.
Please tell me you didn't play the Queen.
Actually, you know what?
After the dance recital for Samrat Ashok, I'm thinking, this is the guy.
That would have made a good
transition. It would be a whole different career.
Yeah, but
wouldn't see you in that light. No. So small role here, small role there. You started establishing yourself.
But then it was. I wouldn't say establishing myself because I wasn't looking to establish myself at that time. I was just. Your school, you're doing different various, things.
Kill time, make sure the girls know who you are, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All noble pursuits, my friend.
So it's in the beginning of college, actually, where the Dramatic Society, where I actually joined it because there was like a couple of pretty girls. Right. There was this really, cute chick. And she was like, come, I can't name her. So
it's okay, it's all water under the bridge. You're married now, it's all done.
I just followed her into the Dramatic Society, and that's where it...
And then she left from the other door and you were stuck with the queen.
Actually, she left after 4 or 5 days.
Women, I tell you.
And I was still there.
It's unbelievable.
And look,
you spent 30 years as an actor. That woman is married some rich businessman. Parvin Dabas, I remember him. Yeah, so very, very interesting how people land up in this line. And but Parvin, you've always been a very unique sort of person. You just do your own thing. You don't seem to follow any kind of path. You've done all kinds of. We look at your body of work from ads as a model, which I think is.
So there was no paths. There was all kacha paths this way, that way.
Also, I think you don't care. You seem to just, I'll just do my thing, which is good to know. Were you influenced by Shah Rukh Khan? And he probably was a senior, obviously, so... Or he wasn't known then?
I used to look up to him because everybody was like, and he was he was a really confident guy, and he choreographed us once in this choreography show. They have these festivals.
So Shah Rukh played Karan Johar. He was doing the choreography.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he choreographed us in this one fashion show, and I remember even then he was really confident. I think
he wasn't doing campus or circus or whatever.
I think this was just before that.
So he's not known to India.
He wasn't known to India, but he was still known
in the Delhi circuit.
In the Delhi circuit, as really, with it kind of guy.
He's never had a confidence issue. I got to tell you that. I've been to him a few times. There's no worry about who I am and what I do. Yeah. But so interesting, you have all that DNA to look up to as well.
And in fact, in school, before college, Gauri was a batch junior. So he used to come in, of course, come to pick her up at that time.
You watched that romance bloom on the side as well.
And I thought it was really sweet.
Sweet?
Because he used to come in his gypsy, who used to be parked on one entrance.
Yeah.
So, come to pick her up.
Did he call her Kiran by mistake? Or
there was no Kiran at that time. Yeah.
There was a Kiran to follow. No, just kidding. Okay, leave Shah Rukh Khan aside. Let's talk about Parvin Dabas, actor, model, director, photographer, athlete, blogger. Where do we start now? We'll just go straight back to the chronology. You're in Delhi, and then for some reason, I think you start modeling. Is that it? Is that the first step?
I didn't really start modeling in Delhi. I was doing theatre there. I started, when I came back, I had done... after college, I went to America and I went to acting school there.
Right.
Again, I just picked up my bag because I was like, Delhi,
Both ho gaya. Let me go.
Yeah, get out of the
And you went
house.
to the?
It was called the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Right.
You had to audition to get in. Actually, when I got on the plane...
So how do you audition? You send a tape from Bombay?
No.
Or Delhi?
No. I didn't know when I got on the plane...
You're that rich that you got on... It's amazing, sorry.
Just hear me out.
Yeah.
I got on the plane and I had no money at that time. So I didn't know where I was going to get in.
What did you tell your parents?
That I want to go to acting school. And I had auditions planned in 3-4 different places.
Okay.
This was the first place I went to. I remember I caught a train. I had first landed up in Toronto, went to New York, auditioned. They said, okay, you're in. I didn't go anyplace else because, who's going to roam around.
What was the audition?
There was 2 pieces. I forgot exactly what, but one was a comedy piece and one was like a drama.
You fresh. They just read this and then perform it.
No. There had already been some communication in letters at that time. Of course, at that time there were letters.
Okay, so the audition was better than your journey in Bollywood.
Yeah.
When they give you the sheet right then.
Yeah.
Oh, probably what change ho gaya. Aapka naam hai Sameer. I love the way we work.
I've got a story on that also.
We'll come to that. Let's just trace your journey now. So you're there. You're in the Academy of
Dramatic Arts, and then I went to a place called HB Studios. Then I came back and I started a theatre group called Urban Theatre Society.
But you don't want to stay there for some time, being almost like a Canadian American yourself?
At that time, there wasn't enough. At that time, Indians were still being hired as cab drivers or Spanish.
How many cooks and cab drivers and doctors can you play, man?
Yeah. So there was not much at that time.
So you came back and you came to Mumbai.
I came to Delhi. I started a theatre company called Urban Theatre Society. So I directed and did plays for about a year and a half, 5 plays. And then decided...
Does this pay your bills? By now you're in your 20s.
It was paying some bills.
What did your parents say? Were they a little worried? I mean, were they okay?
I forgot. I never really listened much.
You're still living at home?
Yeah.
Huh? You're still living at home?
Me?
Yeah.
Now?
At that point.
At that point?
Yeah.
No, actually I took a place on rent.
Oh, so not bad.
Yeah.
You got your own outfit, which may or may not be making money.
Yeah.
But you
it was making money. The first play didn't. We lost. But after that, the second play was really because it was like the play version of the 7-Year Itch, the one with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Oh, I love that whole idea, man.
Yeah. So that did really well. All the
in India,
Harami Delhi wales came.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One edition mil gaya.
By the second time, we knew ek poster, ek ladki achhi, draw out a nice chick,
old wife. Young girl, and you got
and they came flocking. So we were selling, places in the aisles also by that time.
Fair enough, yeah. And they leave feeling happy. This is the way it should be.
Yeah.
Good enough to know. All right, so then let's move you to Mumbai. So obviously now you've become too big for the Delhi circuit. You've done this.
I was just like, bahut ho gaya. Now let's, this is not really what I want to keep doing.
Did you think of Bollywood as the next step? What was your thought?
Yeah, I wanted to, come and do film. So I just caught a train and
but
came.
Without any contacts. There's no one
I
called
knew
you.
one family, the Walias, who I still know.
Okay.
And I knew...
you found out later that they are property developers with Bollywood.
They are actually. I never thought they were developers.
Are you saying?
Yeah, they weren't. I never thought they were... I knew they weren't attached to Bollywood. But what I mean is I knew nobody else in Bombay except them. So I came, I stayed in a hotel for a week. And I got to know Ryle through Ashley Lobo's mom.
Oh my God.
Celia Lobo, who was an opera singer.
Exactly. Yeah,
so she put me onto, onto Pearl, the late Pearl, who I thought was an amazing woman.
Yeah.
And she put me onto Ryle.
Yeah.
Where we
now
met.
I can give a date because now I remember everything. You've opened my eyes. Oof, that's how old we are.
Yeah.
I'll just say this. Pearl passed away in 2000. So just saying that. Yeah. But Pearl was fantastic. Yeah. Amazing personality. Yeah. So then you're still struggling. You don't know exactly what you're doing. You're just doing plays in Bombay.
I started doing theatre. Of course, I taught I taught children with Ryle for some time.
Right.
And then I started doing a play, Romeo and Juliet, with Vikram Kapadia. Mm-hmm. And then I started getting ads.
You put your foot down when Vikram said he'll play Juliet. He said that
was the. So then
that was a big production. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And
at the same time, though, I started getting ads. Yeah. And that really made my life easier.
Was it a period when you were really doing a lot of ads and we saw your face in a lot of commercials?
You're sick and tired of it, yeah.
No, it's okay. I was more than happy. What the hell should I say? No. But body's always overexposure.
So there was a good, 3, 4, almost 5 years where I was...
Wasn't that the easiest gigs of your life?
I loved it.
You hold a bottle in your hand and you slurp. You hold 2 girls around the hips.
Please.
I mean, how tough would that be?
Yeah,
really?
So that was really good.
Really wish one could be a model for life.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's move up from there.
So then, of course, then I auditioned for Monsoon Wedding.
Right.
Yeah. And I got the gig, and movies started from there.
Yeah. And now you go into that Meera Nair group, the what do we call them? The Hollywood with the Desi touch sort of filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that the way to go then? Did you think that?
Again, I didn't. I don't think I really planned. That's the. It was. How could you say no? I mean, I
you got to work with Nasir.
It was brilliant. Yeah, I've always.
Was it fun? Does he have a really bad temper, like they say?
He doesn't have I'll tell you, he's a guy I really, really admire because he's honest. Mm-hmm. And that is perceived sometimes as he doesn't suffer fools.
Yeah.
All the...
Psychofancy, is not his thing.
It's not his thing. So that's perceived as having...
When you say Nasir G, he's already guarded after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I loved it. He took like a workshop and everything. I just, loved... And I'm a fellow Cancerian, so I understood where he came from. Mm-hmm. So, I had a great time on that movie. Just brilliant.
So, Monsoon Wedding now put you into another league again. Beyond modeling where you're just a face. Now you're a name. People know who you are. And then you start getting some Bollywood work as well, TV work as well.
TV, I had done some TV work
before. I know you did a Hell Show, which I do remember. Were you on a Hell Show? What are these shows which exercises in the morning and all that? I remember seeing
that was That was in Delhi. That was Delhi.
Okay.
It unfortunately came out after I moved here. But that was while I was in Delhi.
Just to tell our listeners, you were wearing nothing in that show. Tights. And tights and doing push-ups and stretches. But surrounded by a lot of women, if I remember correctly.
There were like 3 women and me.
And Praveen struggling through the whole exercise.
It's a tough gig, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. You do what you do to survive. Yeah. So after that, Bollywood. Proper.
Yeah.
So what, Kosa Ka Gosa is the first big one, or is there something before
I actually did a film called Hero before that.
This is not the Hero, obviously, with back in the day with Jackie Shroff.
No. This is The Hero.
This is The Hero.
With Sunny
Which sounds like a South Indian film, because they always have the The before. Like The Killer, The Murderer. Huh.
So this is with Sunny Deol and Preeti Zinta and Priyanka Chopra. Mm-hmm. So it was
How did that compare to Monsoon Wedding?
It was different, it's a different school of cinema.
And you'd like to leave it at that?
Yeah.
Fellow Jet and all that?
Yeah.
But a lovely guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Apparently, I know Bobby. Because
Bobby's a great guy.
Oh, he loves it. I remember waiting for Govinda to come on a set once, and Bobby and I played cricket at Palm, the Powai thing, the golf thing, Palm Springs.
My first film, actually, was, before Monsoon Wedding, was Dil Lagi. I played the negative role in that opposite. There was Urmila, Sunny, and
a big cast.
Bobby Deol.
It was called London first.
It was called London first. But I was not a part of it when it was London.
My wife was on that film as a photographer.
Yeah, of course.
You remember?
Of course, I remember. Yeah.
Now he remembers. He's just saying the right thing. Why did you marry her, brother? Look what I'm going through. Yeah.
So no, I wasn't part of it when it was London.
Yeah. When they redid it in Famous Studios Mumbai.
Famous Studios, then I was a part of it.
I know my work. I've researched everything. All right, did you get paid?
I did.
Awkward moment.
Most of it.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets in Bollywood, brother. Yeah. All right. So then Bollywood movies are happening, and then what's the next step that you take? Because where does all this other stuff happen in your life? Photographer, athlete, cyclist. Of course, blogger will come later.
Cyclist came later also, but the photography was always a passion. Scuba diving, it kept going on. Like, you of course travel. You know, when you're shooting and this and that for films abroad. So I tried to make the most of it. I would, they've already paid for the ticket. I used to stay back and go scuba diving.
This coming from a guy who was in a film called London originally and not allowed in London. And made you enjoy London in famous Stadio.
Yeah.
But you did travel.
I did.
And so where did the scuba diving bug come from?
It again, we had gone to Koh Samui for a holiday.
Wow.
On the ad money.
Yeah.
On the ad money.
Fair enough.
So...
listen, you were the model. Think about the other guys who were there. Why do you need the assistant copywriter, for example? Or the cousin of the marketing guy? Come on. Yeah.
So, again, I just tried snorkeling. I loved it. Then I had gone to Australia for a holiday again on the ad money.
There you go.
And I was also doing a show at that time. For B4U, which was like a scene unseen, which we recreated, like did songs, but I was like recreating scenes from Indian films as the in-between thing. And it was a good gig and it was good money again, so that was paying the holiday bills. So while I was in Australia, I tried scuba diving and I really got hooked.
But you got to learn the scuba diving. It's a process, right?
Yeah, it's a process. So you got to be trained and everything. So,
and what do you get to see underwater? Anything interesting?
Fish, sharks,
Australian
coral. They're above water.
The odd body.
For them, you want to stay on the beach.
The odd body.
Yeah, for them, you want to stay on the beach.
Great white tween here.
Yeah.
Kid, do you want your breasts back? Oops.
That was a nasty.
Sorry. But apparently there are more shark attacks on the coast now, this year, 2015, in Australia, than has been for a long time.
It's also to do with the El Nino.
Yeah, the weather.
The heat, the weather.
So they say.
Blah, blah, blah.
Man, I'm just saying, if I find the sharks in the water, I don't want to know why.
But I'll tell you, I was shooting a film in South Africa called The World Unseen with Lisa Ray and a girl called Sheetal Seth. Great experience. And again, I stayed back to do diving. I had already, while we were shooting, I went to do the cage diving with the great whites.
Right.
And that cage does not seem strong enough, I'll tell you that much.
But they touch the cage, don't they?
They bang against the cage. Like you feel like the cage is going to drop and you're going to go down.
So what if your hand is on the cage bar?
You don't want to put your hand on the cage bar.
Right, but what if they come really fast and, like...
You don't want to put your hand on the cage bar.
So what do? You just stand still?
Yeah, you keep your hands to yourself and you're looking around. I have a camera most of the time, so my hands are on that.
Right. So was it thrilling?
It is thrilling.
You think they were going to attack you? What were they doing? Just checking it out?
I'll tell you, just a couple of days before I left, I was watching TV with my then girlfriend, now wife, and we were watching National Geographic, and there was a show about how sometimes these cages get broken by the great whites.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and they break in, and the guys are like...
Who's in charge of South African tourism?
Yeah.
Who does that?
So of course, and she was like...
there's been accidents?
You're going to do this?
But were there accidents? I mean,
there have been accidents, but nobody's been...
Killed,
but the cage has been broken, and people have just about managed to...
How bad is that for your self-esteem if the cage is open and the great white rejects you because you're Indian? Indian, I don't need Indian. Just walks away.
No curry today.
No curry, damn you.
But that was a cage. After that, I did diving with tiger sharks without a cage.
You're kidding me.
Are
they the most violent of the lot?
They are, and that was the most scariest, and I wouldn't say stupidest, but that was like the craziest thing I've ever done.
But why? What's the point there?
It's like why climb Mount Everest.
But you're giving yourself to the sharks.
No, again, now there's training. Now the training is basically, I can say it in Hindi.
Yeah, please.
Ki shark aayega to bhagna mat. That's the training.
Shark aayega to bhagna mat. That's what he tells
you. That's the training. Is because, see, if you turn and run, which a lot of people do, so first of all, you have to be an advanced, experienced diver to go on those dives. Otherwise, they don't allow you.
Right.
Basically, the shark can sense fear. If you turn and run for it, they think you're prey.
But what if he's hungry?
Then you're... Anyway.
Does he have anything in Hindi for that?
Then you start praying.
What the hell does that mean?
Then you start praying.
You go to say hello to the tiger shark, he's like, okay, I'm ready for
it. No, literally, they come towards you. Now, this is...
These are big guys. They're also 10 feet,
they're
right?
big. This is the thing. They say, oh, aayega aapki taraf. They'll come towards you. You push him away.
With your hand?
I was like, what the...
away like a puppy.
You're supposed to actually.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're supposed to push him. He's coming towards you. The training. This is the training. So you're supposed to, as he's coming, push his head downwards. So he goes between your legs.
Oh my God!
I was like, what if he doesn't go all the way below your legs? What do you do then? So I had a slightly different method. I had a big ass camera.
So you either get eaten or blown.
Yeah. Totally. So he would come towards. I had my big ass camera. I would just push the away. I would just like push him away.
But this is ridiculous. That's all they tell you. Just push him. He's like a trained dog. He'll just go
yeah. So apparently they don't. You got to be a little dominant. That's why you're not supposed to run away. Also, because if you run away, they think you're prey, and that's why they come towards you because they're trying to scare you. All of a sudden, they'll be going tuck 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 tuck, and they'll turn and rush you to see if you're going to get scared and run. And I saw a couple of people who got off a boat and within 10 minutes came flying onto the boat. Literally. Because apart from tiger sharks, there's like 40, 50 of these smaller black tip sharks. But that's enough to spook anybody. So you got to really have balls of steel to stay down there.
But what is your backup plan? No, he's saying, okay, pet the doggy. Sir pe ye karo, wo karo.
No, my backup plan was just, I will keep my camera, big-ass camera, between me and the shark.
And he'll bite the camera.
Maximum, yeah, if he...
You really thought this through, man. Tiger sharks. All right, we're going to take a break here and digest the tiger shark. Do you eat shark fin soup ever?
No, never.
In case you did, they probably remember that. Just be very careful. We'll take a break. We'll come back, Parvin. You're a scary man.
Cyrus says, stop picking your nose. Listen to this ad.
This show is brought to you by iVape.in, and I spoke to Amit Jain, the founder. Amit, of course, is an entrepreneur par excellence who's come up with a sort of, it's almost like NGO come entrepreneurizing work together. So it's almost like the perfect business. It's iVape.in, am I right?
That is correct.
Now, please tell us about it as I hold this lovely product.
Okay, my name is Amit Jain and I'm the founder of iVape.in. We are a US company. We just launched a brand in India called iVape.in, and the goal is we want to help smokers reduce their smoking habits and find a better alternative, a more safer and healthier alternative. And for me, it's a more fun alternative because this comes with all the different flavors, right from your tobacco flavors to non-tobacco flavors from fruits. You can think of chocolates, frost, lemon. And the whole idea here is that when people switch to these alternatives, they might find this more fun. There is no tobacco, no tar, and alternative you can have with nicotine, without nicotine.
Visit iVape.in to use the code Cyrus Says to get 15% off on your purchase. iVape.in.
And that's what Cyrus says.
So we're back here with Parvin Dabas, and we're just discussing this incident which has taken over the show for a minute. And I just asked him whether they have a harpoon or something as a backup, or a dart gun or something. Apparently they keep it on the boat while the tiger shark is between your legs. So when you shout, hello, mummy, help, by the time he comes down to shoot the tiger shark, you're already, 40% of your manhood is gone. Maybe 50, depending on how much interest he has in you. Wow, tiger sharks. So that's something you can't even describe to someone. What happens to your heart and all that? I mean,
I'll tell you, it's very hard to sleep in the nights because it was a 4 or 5 day trip. It's not just one day. So every night you're awake thinking, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck was I trying to prove? And but when you do it and you finish it, it is a sense of achievement. You get these amazing pictures.
What the hell is it acting with some? I mean, there's no challenge in acting then after that. You come back, they put makeup on you. You got to say 2 lines to some girl.
It puts things in perspective.
Really, I can imagine. God, one more thing. If you're listening out there and you want to do this tiger shark thing in South Africa, am I right?
Yes.
Make sure you wear an Abdi guard. Cricket Abdi guard, because these Africans don't know what it's like. We have too many people. We should send Indians there.
But I'll tell you, I loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I loved the
South African people. And you must have gathered more confidence as you went along.
The South African people, professional, lovely people. I loved the country. I would go back there in a heartbeat. And the whole dive team and everything, they were really, I mean, I might be making fun of it because it seems... ridiculous. But they knew what they were doing. They knew tiger shark behavior and they knew what they were doing.
And Parvin, let's face it, somewhere down the line, 30, 40 years ago, some South African guy gave his life by experimenting. Wait, go between my legs, man. Somebody went through a lot of that so that you could have a happy time.
Exactly.
We should got to salute those guys. All right, let's move on to the other interesting thing, which you're an underwater photographer as well. So obviously this comes with the territory.
Yeah, like I said, I have a camera.
And so you've shot all these moments of tiger shark coming close to you, etc.
Yeah.
What else have you got? Octopus?
No octopus yet. I've got a lot of other kind of, fish,
Is this a commercial
sharks,
thing? Do you sell
corals.
these photos and all? Are they?
People have asked me. I had one or two exhibitions where people did pick up stuff, but it's more of a passion for me. It's I don't really do it as a
dilute that passion.
People still, of course, ask me for my.
Also in India, I think they'll misunderstand and say how delicious. They won't understand what you're trying to portray about the beauties of the deep. And बहुत अच्छा है यार.
Kitchen में अच्छा लगेगा.
Mayonnaise के साथ. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so photographer as well as there's a bit of daredevil in you clearly, so you want to challenge yourself. What else will you do now once you get at that tiger shark sort of high? Is there? How do you? I'm sure you want more of that. So what do you do next?
No, it's not just I don't want to be stupid when I'm doing these things.
Right.
I like to. Of course, the tiger shark thing was pushing the boundaries, but otherwise, diving I find is a very relaxing. Though most of the time it's the exact opposite because there's currents, there's this, there's that. But it can be really fun. You're in the water.
And this is a solo thing.
No, you're always in a group.
Oh, but what I mean is, no friends of yours your real friends don't come and do this with you. You just go with a group of strangers.
Yeah. When I started in 2000, people didn't even know what diving was at that time. A lot of people didn't know you could go down and this and that, and you could take pictures under. Now it's become a pretty big thing, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah.
So it's really good. A lot of people have started diving now.
Also, you can lose friends very easily. Listen, I'm going tiger shark touching. Do you want to come?
If you ever need to lose a wife or something.
Well, with my luck, the tiger shark will marry her and keep my gonads. You know how they are. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about Khosla Ka Ghosla, and of course a little controversy that comes with it. But going back, was a fantastic film, and I think it really made a lot of people sit up and because your two characters, you and Ranveer, were so different. Just everybody in that film, Anupam Kher, Baman, yourself, and Ranveer, all very good. And I think established all four as real powerhouse actors in a film which was very real, a slice of Delhi life for urban.
And I'll tell you a little about how I got
Delhi.
cast. I knew the assistant director who recommended. He had done a film with me, which didn't release and still never has. But he recommended me to Dibakar, and Dibakar was like, "No, monsoon wedding guy." Good looking, but I don't know if he'll be able to pull off this character.
But you were the only actual Jat in the cast.
Yeah. Which was the irony.
Yeah, you had one Himachali, one Parsi, one Indian,
so
Punjabi.
he wanted to audition me. So the assistant director, this guy called Jatin, called me up and he wants to audition. I said, "Theek hai." And then he disappeared. They didn't call me for 3 months. So apparently afterwards I found out that they auditioned a lot of other people. He didn't want to audition me. Then he was like, "Nahi, Parvin, nahi chalega." And went through a lot of other people. Finally, after 3 months, again, I got a call saying, he still wants to audition you. I said, "Theek hai." So I went and met Dibakar. And he initially does come across as, he is a little very sure about what he wants.
Right.
And, he told me I still don't think you can
But
Jatin said, so I want you to audition for it. I said, "Yeah, fine." So he said, this is the kind of thing. And, will you audition now? So I said, "Do you want a good audition or do you want a quick audition?" He said, "No, I want a good audition." I said, "Phir main kal aunga." So, I went back prepared. He had told me something about it. And we just did a totally improvised scene with Dibakar. And once it finished, he said, "This is not how I had seen the character.
But I like it better."
But yeah, this is how I see it now. And I want you to do the role. Yeah. And I was about to say, "Pehle to."
No. What about credits? Written writer or assistant writer?
So, no. But I had really liked it. So I jumped at it. So I was like, okay, I had a great experience. I think Dibakar is a really good.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those films that we Indians can be proud of. You look at it, you can showcase it, you can dub it, and
you can watch it a lot of times.
Culturally, it's just bang on. It seems to be bang on.
People are still watching it on TV.
Yeah. All the characters are interesting. That's very rare. Yeah. Talented guy. So that brings us to the next issue. Interesting. Your blog take on the award-returning phenomenon. Let's find out.
Yeah. Well, my whole take was it was the national award was for best film. And best film, I felt, belongs to everybody.
Fair enough.
It wasn't the best director national award, which there is a national award for.
So you're saying he has no right to give away an award, which is a collective award?
Yeah, I kind of, my whole thing was...
because you're representing everybody here.
Yeah. So, it wasn't a collective decision.
But having said that, what's your stand on this whole award winning? Do you feel that we're under a fascist regime and that we can't...
No, not at all. I don't think so.
You're busy playing with tiger sharks.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you, my whole thing is I don't believe... I think there are certain things which every government does wrong. Like, I feel the beef ban, I don't agree with it. I did write a blog about that as well.
Right.
I don't believe people should be told...
but that's symbolic of what the people who are unhappy with the government, they're looking at beef as, it may be a small issue, but it's a symbolic issue.
And I feel it's a mistake, that the government should rectify because it's being misused as a kind of symbolism.
Yeah.
But I think a lot that the government is doing, they are trying to do good things. But now again... See, that doesn't mean I don't believe that what's in any government time, at any time, people still being killed because of their caste or being killed because they think
the rationalists who were killed, for example.
Exactly. That is wrong and it's ridiculous. It needs to be solved.
So when others give away their awards, what would you have a pro view?
I don't think giving away awards does jack shit. And I'll tell you, who I have a lot of respect for is a guy like Nana Patekar. You feel for the farmers, you go out into the field, and you do something about it. You made an effort to go there rather than an effort just to stand in front of the camera.
Vernacular writer, let's say, deep in the south or something, he gets this award. He's not very well known, not very well rich.
Write
to
something.
Give it back.
Write something.
But to give it back is a huge step because, he's got national awareness in a sense, and then he just gives it back.
No, see, again... giving it back, what are you giving back? Again,
you're trying to say that I'm against the government policies, and so I don't want to be...
First of all, who gave you that award?
Some other government.
Exactly. I was on the National Awards jury this year.
Yeah.
We worked really hard to choose those films. And whose choice was it? It wasn't the government's. It was the jury's. And now if somebody turned around and said, I'm going to give this government, this award back to the government because I don't like them, I'll be like...
Okay, so what you're saying is their emotions are misplaced in the way they translate it in the sense that they,
I'm not saying they shouldn't protest.
Yeah, protest, but...
I'm saying they should find more creative ways to protest.
Like graffiti in urinals, Praveen, why don't people do that anymore?
I think that's a great idea.
I always used to read, the greatest stuff I read was in urinals. I spent so much time there.
Make a short film. Make a short film. Put it on the internet.
Yeah.
So I personally don't feel anything is going to come up with coining political slogans.
Have you discussed it with Dibakar when he got into the center of the storm and became the, leader of the so-called... No?
No.
But if you met him, would you talk about it or you just let it go?
Might. I mean, there's nothing really. I'm not going to say, you get my f***ing award back.
Because I'm also part of it. And my character I created. It wasn't the way you saw it. Do you remember?
So
give me 20% now.
So
all right, we'll leave it at that. I think you made your point. Your point is that it's not as bad or as good as it looks. It's somewhere in the middle. I think we'll go down to this very interesting blog that you've started, which we just discussed, Diary of an Angry Young Jat. It sounds very, very interesting.
It's actually
Jat. Yeah, there you go. Why do we say Jat then anyway?
It is I'll tell you the basic difference is the Jats who were in Punjab and became Sardars became Jats.
Okay.
So just the religion became different. The basic tribe is the same. So it's Jats and Jats is just that this side they stayed Hindu and the other side they became Sardars.
Sikh. Oh, that's interesting. So Sunny Deol is a Jat.
Is a Jat.
And is a Jat, and you're a Jat. Correct. Got it. Understood. All right. So tell us about this. Apparently, a lot of interesting stuff which we'll discuss, like reservations for communities, Jats and Patels. Is that like a satire?
Yeah. I mean, satire as in, I feel it's about time. I think, there was a time when certain classes needed to be uplifted, but now I feel it's not that they have become, I think there are a really large swath of them who still do need, a slight push because they have been, what's the right, I don't know what the word is, the whole caste system, oppressed for a long time.
Not allowed to come up.
But I think it's become counterproductive now, the whole...
There are 150,000 Patels, for example, in the States, and they're all rich.
There you go.
And the Patel community, and I've grown up with Patels because South Bombay is filled with them. I don't know a single poor Patel.
See, it's not...
What is the
even
point?
like the Jats are asking for reservation, the Patels are asking. They're not asking for reservation because they feel they deserve reservation. They're asking for reservation
because others are getting it.
Yeah. So that's the difference.
Yeah. What's your take on it?
Take it away from everybody.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. Giving it the extra step.
Yeah.
All right. Are you a leader of the Jat community?
I wouldn't.
Do most
think
households
myself-
have your picture?
No, I don't
You
know.
be like Parvin beta. You be bold. You don't give your national award back. No, heart katunga sara. Is it something like that still?
Well, I don't know about the whole Jat thing, but I mean, people do know me because,
Fair enough. The surname also gives it away.
in Delhi, it really helps.
Yeah.
Especially in clubs.
Yeah.
Because who are all the guys, doing like the,
Security and all.
not
Yeah.
just the security, but creating all the halabu or the big tough Jats.
Yeah.
And, but when I'm there, they're like, a couple of times, a big couple of Jats have been, I didn't know they were Jat at that time, come up. Like, I was like, oh, abhi to jhagda shuru hoga. So they hit one or two chicks. They're like, Dabas! Like, yeah. Nice to meet you. Very good, bro. Very good, very good. So like, I've got security everywhere in
What is
Delhi.
wrong with our country? That's very good, bro, and what's up in all the different communities.
Yeah.
We take a little bit of America and we just kill it. It's hilarious. Yeah. Very good, bro. You're going to play that character sooner or later.
Yeah.
What is this long lost friends that you did on the blog?
That was just something about, I had seen this video of a judge who a criminal came in front of her and she recognized him from being in her...
What are you saying?
Yeah, in being
In her court?
School. In her court.
An ex-schoolmate became the criminal. And
He was a criminal. He didn't recognize her. And she said, you know what? You weren't you this in
What are you
this school?
saying?
And he said, yeah, and he started crying. Because he was ashamed to
30
be...
years later, she's this, he's that.
He's that. So he just started crying and I just felt it was such a
It's a Hindi
human
film there.
moment. And for a lot of us who connect with our friends, and what, the paths, how different they've become. So it just felt like a very human thing to write about.
Please give us closure. So what happened? I mean,
She still sentenced him, I think, to or gave him a warning kind of thing.
Oh, so he got a little... there was a little influence on that one. There was a little old boy network that helped.
She did tell him, you got to turn your life around.
Yeah. And which school were you in? Where did you come
Yeah,
from? What's your background, man? Yeah. What an interesting story.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Okay, you write that one and I'll produce it. I've got money. Don't worry about it. Censorship versus certification. This is something we need to talk about for a little while because I think it's a fantastic idea. So you're saying, let's put it in perspective, that censorship is rubbish or what? Well, it's just not making sense. Give us grades. Am I right?
Yeah, correct.
And so no matter what you make, whatever your film, however pornographic or anti-values or whatever, just give grades to it.
Yeah.
And you decide to watch it or not, depending on the grade.
Everything's available on the internet anyway, right?
Of course, yeah.
And every villager, city person, security guard, they've all got internet on the thing. They're watching
and they're
everything.
not watching National Geographic.
Yeah, they're not
let's
watching
face it.
National Geographic.
Yeah.
So what's the point? What's the point of censoring or say, oh, ye nigalo? And all of us have been through that.
True.
Give grades and say, okay, this is, let's say, not XXX, but call it something else, like whatever. But this is really, it's got nudity and this.
So you know what you're getting into. It's your business after
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
So I think that is the way people should go here because, on the one hand, we call ourselves a democracy. We're a democracy, we're a free country, but you cannot show this film,
X, Y,
you cannot
Z,
say
you
that,
can't
you
say
cannot
that.
do this.
But more importantly, the practical point here, which is that you can't stop them anyway. The internet is free to air, it's all there, everybody can touch it.
So it's about time that, we said, okay, we won't take it, but if you want to keep this, then you'll get this grade.
Right.
And if you want to take it out, then you'll get this grade.
So maybe they should grade them according to age. So it's like really disgusting. It's like 85 plus only.
Yeah.
Grandfathers alone,
Yeah.
Is there anything you wouldn't play? Is there any character you wouldn't play? I mean, if the character represents, say, a neo-Nazi or a right-wing Indian or whatever, is there something you say, I don't want to be that on screen?
I don't know if you can really say that, but...
But sensibility-wise, you're saying, I can't identify with this guy and I don't like this film you made. I'm saying. Would that ever happen?
Maybe like a child molester or something.
Right. So there might
because we have kids now,
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever...
so you draw the line on that one. Yeah. But Osama bin Laden is fine.
Wo chalega. Wo chalega.
Not the worst cat in the house.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on from there, now let's talk about the directing that happened. So you've done a few films. How many films had you done by then, before you directed your first?
At that point, I think it was about 21.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
21.
How many of them would have been these crossover films? At least
There was about 5-6 of them.
5-6, yeah. Decent amount of that as well. And then you got the director Kida happened suddenly.
Yeah.
Or was it always there?
It actually... I did want to produce kind of, films together. This one I wrote myself. And while writing it, I was like, you know what, I have to direct this because I understand it so well, and it's from... Hey, Kunal, how's it going, bro?
Yeah.
Bro.
Kunal, my better half has just walked in. You want to spend some time on that, What is it, The Queen and I?
The Queen and I, yeah.
No, so getting back. So you wrote this script, and is this a bit like you, the story?
What do you mean, bit like me?
Like your own story?
You know how it was? I was involved in... There was you know the whole land acquisition law?
Yeah.
So even in our village, we had a large part of the land which the government was just taking away through this Land Acquisition Act. And I remember the first time I read about it, I was like, how, it seems so...
So personally, the Dabas family had land taken away?
We also had land taken away in that, yeah.
Let's go out there, yaar. Give the award back, yaar. Parvin, award kahan hai? Give it back now. No. Damn it.
So I sat on Dharna also in our village a couple of times. Got some press attention because of that over there.
Right.
And while this whole thing was going on, and I know a lot of guys from my village who have been involved in crime and gangs and everything. And the idea just came to me of what if a gang who belongs to this village suddenly wanted to fight for the same cause.
Yeah.
So that was the germ of that idea. I wanted to make it like an entertaining thing of where the gang, belongs to a village whose land is being taken away. So what would they do?
So it's like sort of Robin Hood situation where they decide to band up, but the reason is noble.
Yeah.
But everything else obviously goes out of control.
Exactly.
All right. And so you shot that film. How long has that been? About?
That was 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
And as we speak, there's another one on the cards.
Yes, there is, which
you can't speak about because the money is to come into place.
The writing is still happening.
Right, and you're looking for characters. Kunal is available at very cheap rates. He only shoots in South Bombay apparently, and he'll wear anything.
Oh.
So white, fountain sequence, all on.
Queen.
Right. Queen. The eye is up to you. You just play with your tiger shark pets, man. You've got enough on your plate. Parvin, if you can quickly tell us a little bit about not the next venture, but what else is happening? As an actor, is there other stuff happening?
Yeah, I've got 3 other films coming out. One is a romantic comedy called Jab Tum Kaho, which was shot between Mumbai, Delhi and Kolkata. It's about a Delhi guy who, by accident, makes a
wrong
call to this Bengali chick.
Oh my God!
And then gets horny about it.
She didn't put the phone down.
Then gets horny about it.
She didn't put the phone down.
He gets horny about it, so he travels to Kolkata to
get
lucky.
Once you said Delhi, we got the horny part.
Yeah. So then there's a film I've done which is tentatively called Kuldeep Patwal, I Didn't Do It, where I play a chief minister, and a lot of it is through flashbacks and everything. Very interesting. It's a political thriller.
Is
really
it a mirror image of any present chief minister?
Based on several, you can say.
Put them all together. Yeah. They all got such great bodies of work. You put them together and get the ultimate chief minister.
So, and then there's a film I've done called The Mirror Game, which is like a psychological thriller, which we shot in New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's in English?
It's in Hindi, but the director and producer were from there, and I never complain about shooting.
Who's the murderer? Who's the killer? Who's the murderer?
The Queen.
Damn you. Come on, man. Give me something. So all 3 films releasing soon. Directing another film as well, which will start in this year, 2015-16.
In 16, yeah.
Yeah, 2016. So very busy, but still has time to go playing with tiger sharks, writing his blogs, ranting about a few things, scuba diving, underwater photography. But there's one thing we haven't spoken about yet, and that is this newfound passion for cycling. What kind of person cycles to Leh Ladakh from Mumbai? I mean, why?
Not from Mumbai, from Manali.
From Manali, right. That's a little better. I was like, what the hell?
Which was bad enough, I'll tell you, which was bad enough.
Are those roads difficult?
They're really difficult.
Yeah.
All uphill. Again, one of those moments, the first day you start it, and again you start thinking, what the fuck was
the
that?
The tiger sharks were so much easier.
Yeah, the tiger sharks were
in 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
This doesn't end.
So, but, the minute you finish it, you feel this sense of
So the question we need to ask you is, we spend so much time on a cycle seat. What does it do to your testicles? Doesn't it, affect you?
You need pads.
I was thinking, it just doesn't make sense to me, man.
And there's this thing, cream. Let's just leave it at that.
Cream? I'd like to know which assistant director has to apply it. Sir ने cycling किया है तो आप short नहीं दे सकते.
Cream
लगा दे. Excellent. But cycling, so very interesting your life. You just want to do your thing whenever you want to do your thing, and nothing comes in the way. So when you say you cycle from Mumbai to Baroda, which I think will take some time.
No, that was actually, there's this, the guys who we did the Manali to Leh thing, it's Times Passion Trails.
Right.
So they asked me to lead this ride from, it was from Baroda to this palace resort called Jambu Goda and back. So we stayed there the night and came back, and I led the whole thing this time.
How many hours are you on the saddle, so to speak?
About 5-6 hours one way.
5-6 hours and then break and then 5-6 hours again.
Well, yeah, overnighter stay and then come back.
Excellent.
So that wasn't that tough. When you've done Manali Leh, then it's like once you've done the tiger sharks, then the smaller sharks are like,
you're like, don't even come here.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to earn me,
Don't
man.
show your face.
I'm tiger. Fair enough. All right, Parvin, you've been wonderful. But there's another story which I left out, which if I have time, we can squeeze in, which is your sting. You're a political activist. You fight for your community. You fight for your village. You fight for your actors and artists as well. But you also fought for your family in a drama that actually happened in your own building society. Well, what happened there?
Well, let's just say that, somebody was trying to arm twist. I'll tell you, the cooperative law needs to change. I blame it with the law. It needs to change. This whole thing of having committees and people in charge, democracy in a building, it's bullshit. It just makes up everybody fighting everybody in the building. You see any
So if you have a
building
cooperative law,
across,
then what kind of law will you have?
you should have one company which handles the work of every building. I'm not saying across, but one building, you should not...
A detached company
a
from
detached
the building owners.
company, from the building
owners.
flat owners.
Right.
Otherwise, everybody's just trying to
Figure out what's in it for them.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. But cut a long story short, somebody tried to arm twist money out of you, and you shot the guy, not with a gun, as an old judge should have done, but as a modern generation, you said, no, I'll use a camera. And you got him on visually, audio, we got the whole works.
Everything, yeah. And so did my sister-in-law, because my sister-in-law was involved. So.
Right. And so the guy was caught. And
that was caught, and there was a case going on.
Yeah.
Before this started, I had never been to a cop station or been to a lawyer or anything.
Right.
But a year and a half it took, while I was, of course, doing other work, but it took a year and a half of various, registrars and
they make it very easy,
They
the
went
whole
up
process.
to Bombay High Court, yeah. So, but I have to say, I was impressed with the way the law worked in this case. It was because cases can go on.
Right.
My whole thing, it went through 4 different, and this is separate from what this happened, the whole sting and everything.
Right.
But, it took a year and a half, but again, this is where I blame the cooperative structure. Is it should never have gone to court. These things should be automatic. Yeah. That this is wrong, so you can't be in the committee kind of thing.
Or if they can just have clear rules which everybody follows, which obviously doesn't happen in cooperative societies, and that's why we need to go back to our villages, brother.
Exactly.
That's where life is much better. You don't like your neighbor, you shoot him.
Yeah.
What happened to the old-fashioned law? I mean, they were so cooperative.
Good old days. Good old days.
Really. How the world has turned in the wrong direction. Parvin Dabas, thank you for being on our show. You've been wonderful. We have one section left called the AMAs, which we do where we just, people ask us questions. If you can stay for that, it's riveting.
Oh, thanks.
It's actually quite
it was
boring.
A pleasure catching up again.
I know.
I think I'll step out while you do.
You want to step out? There are no sharks in the car as far as I know. There are loan sharks though, be careful. Yeah. And they bite everything.
Cyrus Says, ask me anything. If you want Cyrus to answer your questions on air, send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com. If you send us a link to a sound file on SoundCloud, we'll even play you asking the question in your own voice. And that's what Cyrus says.
Yep, it's called the AMA. Parvin, we're joined by Amit Doshi, who's the brain behind this podcast. And he's going to make you into a totally different man by the end of this episode because he's got a film he wants to do. It's called The Queen, her sister, and I.
Is he financing?
You just come out of a cooperative society. What do you think?
All right. So the first question I have is from Rahul from Houston.
Typical name in Texas.
Yeah.
Raul. He's from Mexico, Houston.
So, Cyrus, do you know who performs the Cyrus Says theme song?
Who performs what?
The Cyrus Says theme song. You know that thing where we have on the podcast?
Oh, right.
The Carnatic song.
I'll throw the question to answer back to you then.
Let's just say he doesn't give a
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I tell you, it's not Lata Mangeshkar.
It's not Lata Mangeshkar. No, it's a piece of... It's just a sound clip. I mean, it's not...
okay.
We didn't get somebody in to sing
how
it.
empty is somebody's life to ask this question?
I don't know.
Send him tiger shark hunting.
All right. The next question is, Cyrus, do you think I should buy a Ford Figo Aspire or a Maruti Suzuki Baleno?
They always do this. Put the blame on the third guy because you can't make up your mind. What do you think? Are you good with cars?
I think
Cycles for sure.
a motorcycle. I used to like motorbikes as well.
Yeah. So forget the cars. Our point is go for something. Let's just go for a cycle. You save so much more money.
Actually,
you can go to bloody Baroda and Leh and this and that.
I was actually going to cycle to the studio, but then I wasn't sure, where
GPS in your cycle wasn't working.
Where to park it or
Yeah, that's a funny thing, with cycles. You just leave it there, you go up, you come back, there's no cycle.
Yeah, you
and
can't.
The guy's like, how are you doing?
No, you can't leave it anywhere. You gotta actually,
lock it,
you need a proper place for it. Yeah.
I had a friend who had this Valkyrie bike which he got. Idiot didn't think it through. Now he doesn't leave the house. So, yaar, main laga nahi sakta gaadi. I'm just going to take it for a round, come back in the garage, lock it. He's so freaking scared. Imagine with binoculars on the 4th floor, you're looking down. That's a stupid thing to do. It's like a pretty wife, man. Be very careful. Go on.
All right. Cyrus, I heard in one of our episodes that a tree fell on your I-10.
True.
My question is, how
Was
did
it your
you...
wife's?
Well, no, that's exactly the question. How did you fit in an I-10?
Amit Doshi, are you setting this up?
That's the question, man. It's not my question.
It's a long story. My wife wanted the I-10 many years ago. 5 years back, we bought it.
So goes
and
the
sadly,
story.
so goes the story. And it became an I-5 because the street fell on it. It was boom, broke into two. Sad part is there were 7 cars in a row in the building.
And it only found your car.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's almost like, I can't believe it. And I used to like trees. Damn. Anyway, it's done. It's repaired. And it's back.
It's back.
And but it was terrible. It was almost like your kid got injured or something. I felt really bad for a little while. So that's why we're going with cycles. After Parvin Dabas, I'm doing cycles. Cheap BSA SLR old cycles which hardly move. Do you have one of those fancy cycles?
Slightly fancy.
It has to be, right? I mean, if you're cycling...
mountain bike with all those gears. I can't understand them.
Some gears. Yeah, but I'll tell you... it needs to be basic. It just needs to be a good quality bike. It doesn't need to be really expensive. But it needs to be, a good quality bike.
But
because at the end of the day, it's you pushing the pedals.
Right,
that's what I don't like. As an Indian advertiser, I want you to say, the gears will make the bike do all the work. You sit there and wave.
Well, when they pay me, I will say that.
And they will pay you soon. I-10 is already calling. Oh, the people for protection of trees. One of the two. Let's just take the call right now.
All right, that's it.
That's it. Thank you, Parvin Dabas. All the best to you. We'll see you
Thanks
soon
a lot, guys.
on the screen as well as underwater. If you see a tiger shark going between your legs, do not pat it.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
All views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of the IndusVox Media Network or any of our show advertisers or sponsors. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast, obviously.